Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, welcome on in, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Look, ChatGPT won't do the things I want it to do sometimes. And it's like, I think it thinks look, I know, and you know who's ruined it? The teenage boys out there. I'm sure they have. Because now I ask it to, I'm like, hey, make a fake picture of, I think it was of Jackson Smith and Jigba. It was like, catching it was like pointing and laughing at Puka Nacua. That's what I was like, make a picture of this. Pointing and laughing at Puka Nacua after the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And then ChatGPT's getting all stifly and uppity now about stuff. And what are they? And it's like, I can't make fun of real people. If you'd like a generic person pointing at a generic person in a random Rams, I'm like, no, then we missed the point.
Did ChatGPT get sued?
Come on. Maybe, but
Why is it worried about that now?
Yeah, you're fake. You can't get sued.
That was the whole fun of it.
That was,
I mean, we all understand and acknowledge it's not real.
Putting people in compromising positions was why you were created. Come on, ChatGPT.
The whole point of ChatGPT is to make our weird ideas come to life.
Come on. You know you can do it, ChatGPT.
The strangest thing we can think of. We want to bring it to life.
Yeah, don't limit
yourself. That's your job, ChatGPT.
So the whole thing was that we were just watching the Seahawks celebrating, and ESPN had to blank out 2/3 of the screen because everybody was wearing the Sam Darnold T-shirt with him flipping people off, holding the NFC Championship trophy. Did you see this?
Yes.
And I don't know if it's a real situation. I go, did he really do that, or did they just kind of chat? And he's like, and you were like, oh no, ChatGPT can do anything. Now, other AIs, you can do a lot of crazy stuff, all right? But apparently, ChatGPT won't let me put a real Sam Darnold picture up there flipping somebody off. I don't even think he really did it. It does not seem like it's in his wheelhouse, that's something that he would do. But, maybe prove me wrong. But regardless, I've been hit up on Instagram. I've been hit up by my son. If we can get the Sam Darnold shirt of him flipping everybody off. And I said, we'll probably put a pin in that one.
Well, apparently, after a Google search,
you can get it.
The Sam Darnold flipping the bird picture is real.
It is real. Okay. Who was he doing it to?
I don't know.
I think it was just to his teammates. It's
Probably.
It's not like Matt Stafford walked by the trophy ceremony and he pointed at him and flipped him off. I mean, maybe that that rivalry just took a different turn. Napolis, that'll be a lot more fun next year for us if the Seahawks and the Rams are in the NFC Championship game again. Those are the two with the best favorites, by the way, to go to the Super Bowl next year. And I don't blame them. Did you see, by the way, ESPN put up before the year, everybody took receipts at the beginning of all this with the Seahawks winning, and they go, remember this? And ESPN's experts had put together chances of winning the NFC West. And this was from this year. I don't know why, because I never had the Cardinals even once thinking about the possibility of getting better. Did you?
No.
They had them at like a 38% chance of winning the NFC East.
Based on
NFC West. I have no idea. And then it was, and then after that, it was the 49ers at like 22%. And then it was like 20% to the Rams and then like 9% to the Seahawks. That might not all add up to 100, by the way. I'm not sure. But it was definitely like the worst to the best in that order. And anybody who watched that thing all go down, I don't know anyone who actually had the Cardinals doing anything. But I don't think they're going to do anything for quite some time there, JJ. But
there's not a lot of light in the end of that tunnel.
You know what? We're going to be doing something though. Let's
maybe they should trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. That would change everything for the Cardinals in their tank.
Yeah, but if you tank too hard, everybody's going to make fun of you.
That's right.
All right. We'll get into that a little bit later too, because Utah is still taking the brunt of what tanking is in the league.
We're not going to stand for it, Utah.
No,
we're not going to let these guys, these national talking heads, get away with their Utah slander. We're going to call them out today.
No way. All right. Before though that, we're going to talk about some couple things. I'm not doing this to rip any Band-Aids off and bring up old, or not even old, it's kind of fresher wounds. We want to let those heal, but Jay Hill was on a podcast in Michigan, okay? And I'm all about it, get out there, see what this guy. And if you're Jay Hill, you're not going to go to a new place and go, I didn't really want to be here, but the money was too good. Like $2.5 million a year as a base salary for a defensive coordinator. That's pretty, look, I'll take it. You know what I mean? But Jay Hill goes on a podcast in Michigan with former Michigan players and starts kind of going into it. And I want to get into some of the audio that he'd said. Okay, what did he say about Kalani? What did he say about the decision to leave BYU? What did he say about being with Kyle Whittingham? All those things. So let's jump in right here, top of the program. Let's get it going here with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right. Hey, by the way, Latvia is the first team that Team USA is playing in the men's hockey tournament. Latvia. I'm watching Sweden versus Italy right now. Just don't picture Italy as being one of those strong contenders, but they are the host country. Maybe they got better now. You don't think of Italy as being a really strong.
How many American players that happen to be Italian are on the Italian hockey team?
Oh, that's a good point. Do you
research I must do?
Let me ask you this: do you get in because you're the host country? Is it like the World Cup? You get into the host country, you can.
I think so.
Yeah, we're gonna put our. Their goalie just strained your groin or something. They just took him out. Like, no, you have to stretch like that if you're going to be a goalie.
Probably some 50-year-old guy from Sicily.
The Italian beer league.
It's like, hey.
The super good soccer player. Yeah. Oh, here comes the look, if you're the backup goalie for Italy, look at this guy coming out. I mean,
I wish everybody listening could see this right now.
Listen, I'll just explain to you. What's that meme of that guy who runs onto the pitch as fast as he can? This is the equivalent of a guy who
that cross-country guy that is going viral today.
Never
similar to that.
Yeah, just charging up that hill. This guy just came in as the backup goalie for Italy, and he's going to turn some things around here. Okay,
he's been waiting for this his entire life.
All right, that's inappropriate. We don't need to see that part. What are you doing to the ice there, buddy? You're stretched out. Okay, we get it. All right, so here's Jay Hill on this podcast talking about. It's the In the Trenches podcast, and these are a couple of former players, and they talk all things Michigan and Michigan football. So here we go. Jay Hill talking about the decision to go to Michigan. First, he had to start things off talking about, because the host asked him about leaving BYU, and first he kind of went off about the experience that he had with Kalani.
Well, Kalani's a phenomenal person. He's a people person. Everybody loves him. He does a great job of motivating because the players know he cares about them. And so as a consequence, he can push them because they know he cares. He was great to the assistants. Anyway, bottom line, it was like working for one of my really good friends. I think he's great. He knows the X's and O's, and obviously he's had a ton of success.
He's like dating my best friend. I mean, it's like coaching with my best friend. By the way, when he says everyone loves Kalani, isn't there part of you that goes, hold the phone a little bit? We have a couple people in mind that may not necessarily love Kalani.
Oh, man. You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, and he's not a there are
guys.
When
it comes to college football head coaches, my gosh, he's got to be the most liked college football coach.
I think he's been to dinner with every head coach and their
spouse.
Cruise
with their family.
Yes. It's not just the coach who's good. His wife is amazing, too. So that's not a shock.
I was talking to people at the Super Bowl. I was like, hey, you cover BYU? I was like, yeah, what's Kalani like? He seems like an amazing guy.
Oh, he is. And everybody who – I mean, there are people who are fired by Kalani that do not love him, and that's just a part of the deal.
That's business. You can't make everybody happy. You're going to have enemies.
Jay Hill leaving was tough, and I think we could all agree that's probably the biggest empty space left at that. Not probably. It is the biggest empty space left. Besides Kyle Whittingham and the entire state of coaching in college football. The decision to leave BYU, I think this will kind of shock people because I think we had assumed that maybe there was a little bit more of a, I don't know, I'm torn.
There were reports that there was somebody out there that was making it really hard.
Yeah, and I get it. And I think you as a BYU fan listening out there go, no, he wanted to figure it out. I think that it, maybe that there was just a little bit more and they finally came to a decision and they get with God on it and they go to the team that they want to go to. But this is what Jay Hill said about the job offer and coming to Michigan?
Well, the decision to come to Michigan was not hard at all. Coach Witt called me and said, hey, I think I have this opportunity. What do you think? I said, Coach, I'm in because it's Michigan. And I believe that we can win national championships here. I believe we can win consistent Big Ten championships here. With the way Coach Witt coaches, his discipline and toughness, I just think it's a perfect match for Michigan. I was in. Moving your family and doing some of those things, that's the hard side of this job. But a lot of times you put yourself in a great situation and you figure out the other stuff after.
My wife lived in Ann Arbor for a while. She was an intern at Ford.
Yeah.
She's like, there's some parts of Ann Arbor that would not be hard to move to.
It's nice. I've been out there for games. It's a great city, great college town.
I just think, and by the way, like, couldn't you have at least said, yeah, it took us a while. It was, no, he called me. Even Witt was probably like, oh, I mean, you can think about it. Like, I'll give you the night. And he's like, no.
I mean, he just made it very clear, like, he was all in from the very beginning.
Yeah, and that's the part I think that was not like it's controversial or weird or whatever.
Not at all.
The good news was he probably had that decision in his head and decided, I'm not talking about this thing at all until after I'm done coaching my last game at BYU, which he did. You know what I mean? Like, in an era when everybody else announces for you what your intentions are, Jay Hill did the pro thing, and even though it looks like there was not any moment of hesitation for Jay Hill to go to Michigan. And by the way, I don't think there's a coach on any staff on planet Earth that if they're asked to come be a defensive coordinator at Michigan would say, nah, man, I think I'm gonna stay here at JMU. You know what I mean? Like, this is
right,
not it.
But let's stop and talk about that, because I think there's a lot of BYU fans out there that wanted to think or believe that with the resources they had, they could have made this decision very difficult for Jay Hill, and it's very clear what Jay Hill just said. There was no hesitation. The decision was clear,
right.
Crystal clear.
And I bet money wasn't even that much
from
of
the get-go. Not even a problem.
Right. Because they probably could have matched it.
It's Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where, I don't fault Jay Hill at all. But here's the concern. I'm going to call it a concern. How do you change this narrative or this reality if you're BYU and Utah? Because the Cougars and the Utes are now competing at the Power 4 level. They have a lot of resources, especially BYU right now. How do you fend off the Michigans of the world from stealing your assistant coaches or your head coach?
A legacy Hall of Fame head coach that was at your school 5 minutes before and then just went to Michigan and then takes the other best coaching situation out of Kalani and Coach Whittingham and Morgan Scalley and Jay Hill. Everybody looks and goes, all right, Witt, Kalani, and then I think in your head, if you're trying to hire a new head coach somewhere in this country, anywhere, or an amazing assistant anywhere, you take Jay Hill, probably even before Morgan Scalley, just because of the extended success that have been.
There's debate among Utah fans whether Jay Hill or Morgan Scalley would be the best head coach. That has been a discussion that's been had on social media.
Well, and Jay Hill's been a head coach. So
exactly.
I think that would have been that's probably makes a decision for you. But
Morgan was in that position. He absolutely has earned it and deserves it. But that debate is real because Jay Hill has an impeccable head coaching record and resume at Weber State, and then was able to become one of the best defensive coordinators in the country at BYU. So Jay Hill is in that conversation with the other three.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves that opportunity, and I think success at Michigan is going to allow him to be able to pick and choose whatever opportunity he wants to be in that chair as a head coach.
Yeah.
Again, not at the G5, not at the FCS, at the P4 level, at the highest level, perhaps in the Big Ten, perhaps in the SEC. I don't know. Wherever he wants to go, if he's successful at Michigan, he's be able to do that. But from the Utah and BYU perspective, what do you have to do to be among the elite? Because BYU and Utah finished ahead of Michigan in the top 25 this past year.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years,
I was gonna say,
BYU has been better than Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
Yep.
Winning more games, been in the top 25 more, been in the college football playoff poll more times.
Okay, what you're asking is,
why
I know
is it such an easy decision for Jay Hill to go to Michigan when you're LDS and you've been in Utah and BYU is a perfect situation for you? Why is it so easy to go to Michigan? What does BYU and Utah have to do to change that narrative? Is there anything they can do?
No. And that's the unfortunate part. That there will never be a moment in time. Think about it, too. Here's the litmus test. Can your school deal with immense cheating, public scandal, disgusting behavior by coaches? Go over to Penn State, look just across the same conference.
Penn State and Michigan have had their share of controversy.
And guess what?
At different levels. Obviously, Penn State was much worse.
Those brands.
But what just happened at Michigan is not light.
Of course
the
not.
The Moore situation is not light.
But that's what I'm saying.
The cheating is not light.
Those things are there, and everybody still goes, yeah, but it's Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
BYU and Utah have had clean programs that have done things the right way.
Don't care.
One at a high level.
Don't care.
Michigan has had all kinds of ethical problems over the last few years. Did win a national championship, but everyone's wondering.
It will never matter. It will never matter.
And it doesn't change anything.
No, because
Michigan is, it's Michigan. Got to go.
Yep. And it's going to be like that forever. There are going to be programs that those coaching jobs will always be.
So there's nothing Utah or BYU could ever do to be on that same plane?
Never. You win.
Wow.
You win a championship. I mean, maybe I'm not looking 1,000 years into the future here, but those
none of us are going to be around for that.
No, but even 100 years from now, if BYU and Utah add 2 or 3 national championships apiece in football over the next 100 years, they still would never be there because this is a founding father. This isn't just. I mean, this has.
It's the big house.
And you think
it's the Big Ten.
You think BYU has money? You think BYU alumni have money? Of course they do. But we're talking about Michigan. Will BYU basketball ever eclipse Kansas from a brand standpoint of a place that you want to be if it's A versus B?
They'd have to win a lot of NCAA tournament championships and go to a lot of Final Fours before they can even be in that conversation.
And there's history that can never be
I get that.
Reestablished for another team who's new to the block, so to speak. Has BYU been better than Kansas in the last couple of years? Probably 2 out of the last 3 they have been, right?
Beat them head-to-head, both in their building and at their place.
And guess
beat
what?
Beat them badly.
And guess what? That's a job that is paying Bill Self. Now, Bill Self's a little bit different. But, I mean, like, there are high-paying jobs across the country that Kevin Young is like, yeah, I'm one of the high-paying guys too. I mean, he's right there with other Big 12 coaches.
BYU's doing everything that the other
100%.
Blue Bloods are doing at the highest level to compete.
That makes no difference because there's old money that will and a brand that will never be touched, and you can have all the new money you want, but you don't have that royal blood.
So tradition still matters in college football.
It will never change.
If Nebraska came calling.
No, I mean.
Why does that change?
Because Nebraska and Michigan are different. Like, let's not mess around. Just because the word blue blood is attached to one or the other.
How did they change? What changed?
Michigan is, first of all, the team that has won the most football games in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Okay? So that means they've been around longer. They've done more. And so I'm not trying. By
Where's
the way,
the line drawn
this,
with BYU and Utah where that's no longer? What schools, if you're an assistant coach, you're jumping to, are not lateral moves in college football at this point for BYU and Utah? It's got to be a short list, right?
Yeah, no, and I think
Michigan's obviously on that list. Jay Hill just proved it. He's like a no-brainer. I'm going to Michigan.
Okay, let's think about some big brands overall. BYU,
Ohio State, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Oregon, yes.
Yes, Penn State, even yes. Michigan, yes. But and USC might be on that list.
BYU
I think,
kept Kalani from going to Penn State.
That's right, and you know what? UCLA was also a team that came calling, and I don't think that phone call was returned. UCLA's a brand that got eclipsed.
That's why the Kalani situation was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess you can never say never.
BYU being able to keep Kalani Sitake from taking that Penn State job was a massive deal. And we knew it in the moment. And now as this conversation continues, I'm like, that was a massive deal. But I think the reason why that happened is Kalani, they got a deal done that made sense financially, not just for Kalani, but for his assistants and for NIL. It was a much bigger deal than just about Kalani. But Kalani is a BYU guy, and I think that played into the decision as well. I think that mattered in that situation. And BYU's fortunate that it did. But that was a massive victory for BYU to keep Kalani at BYU, because we're having this conversation. We're going through those schools. And, yes, Penn State is one of those schools where if you're a head coach or an assistant coach at BYU or Utah, you're probably going to think really hard, or it's a no-brainer, like Jay Hill said, to go to those schools. And we're still in that situation. No matter what BYU and Utah have accomplished on the football field recently or over time, has not been enough to change that narrative.
Yeah, and again, never say never, but BYU and Utah will never have that same mystique that Michigan has. And it's not a bad thing. It's just where it stands. Like, this is where the sport is. You can't
have to win multiple national championships.
Yeah. And even then,
conference championships, all that comes with it.
Right. And you could
100,000 seat stadium.
Look, we've seen it. Look, Utah has become something totally different from what they were when I was a kid growing up.
Oh my gosh.
Right? You think about what they
unrecognizable
when we were in the mid 80s. Watching college football
playing on
as kids.
concrete in the 80s.
And, yeah, I mean,
the fans that went to Rice Stadium know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and if you watch that growth, you go, man, some awesome things can happen if you get the right people in there. What we're asking here is that Michigan become less important compared to, some of these other teams. They just never will be. The alumni base is totally different. The span across the history of the sport itself is totally different, and you'll always be able to have that advantage of the branding. You'll always be able to have that advantage of the branding. North Carolina will always be that basketball program that I don't care how good UCF becomes over the years. You know what I mean? Like, or anybody. Think about even like Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a great basketball program, pretty good history.
Oh, yeah.
But Cincinnati could do everything and be amazing and be awesome, win national championships or whatever it might be. No one would ever say, oh, Cincinnati's a way better situation than North Carolina. Right. You just never would.
You're correct.
So anyway, pretty interesting discussion, because I think that Witt. Oh, we didn't get to hear the last one about Kyle Whittingham, right? Well, I want to hear this one because he talks about Kyle Whittingham. We'll get to this and we'll get to the break. But here's what he said about being with Kyle. Obviously, there's a long history there, and that was part of the decision as well.
So I'm one of the few guys in the coaching profession that has the perspective of, I actually got to play for Coach Witt. He was the defensive coordinator when I was playing. And then I got to be a graduate assistant under him, and then I got to see him as a head coach as he grew into the role. And I have more respect for Coach Witt than any coach in the game, just because he's phenomenal with X's and O's. He's extremely disciplined and extremely intelligent. Like, when you sit down with him, you're like, man, this guy's brilliant. And that's what I always saw in him, and why I stayed with him for so long, and why I was willing to come back with him, because I just see special in Coach Witt. He's a coach of all coaches. He's one of those guys that never stops learning. He wants to know what the offense is doing. He's extremely smart with special teams. He wants to know all the techniques from all the position groups. So I've seen him grow up in that aspect. I would say just understanding of, it's never perfect. Although we're striving for perfection, it never is. And so how do you overcome those things? I think he's really grown there.
Okay, there you go. All those things add up to, it shouldn't have been it was a no-brainer for Jay Hill. And BYU knows, I think, in the end, if somebody was going to be like, I can't believe he went and took that job. Yeah, you can. You know exactly where he went. It's a bonus that this is a guy who he knows really, really well. If it was a no-name head coach, I say no-name. If it wasn't the connection of Kyle Whittingham and Jay Hill, does Jay Hill take that job when a coach calls him up and goes, I love your style, man, like, come to Michigan?
Based on what he said, yes, because it's Michigan.
It's Michigan. Yeah. It's
but
a bonus.
It made it even more. It was even
yeah.
more of a no-brainer because of the relationship and respect that he already had for Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Kyle Whittingham made his first call to Jay Hill.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Hey, we got more college football to talk about. You know why? There's teams who are like, hey, man, we want a piece of this action. We think we could be the next JMU. We think we could be the next Tulane. Put us in there as a G5 team representing, or group of 6 team in the college football playoff. How teams trying to make that jump, it's difficult. You got to pay for it. But how to have success, I think you're going to have some people who are going to see that success. So we'll talk about that and much more right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide,
Love it.
This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Got a Jazz basketball game tonight. As the controversial Utah Jazz take the court tonight.
Who are they going to play for only 3 quarters tonight?
Dun, dun, dun. Which,
Outrage.
by the way, it'll be a hilarious game tonight because they are playing the Kings. All right. Pre-game right here.
And the Kings will be full strength, right? Because they're
oh, yeah.
They're not the problem.
Annapolis, what was the number of people sitting out? It's basically everybody for the Kings, right? I mean, it's anybody that's of any import.
Oh, the Kings are tanking tonight.
This is a 12-win team coming into a 17-win team's house. Neither want to win this game.
No Hunter, no Levine, no Westbrook, no Sabonis.
Well, yeah.
Essentially, nobody's playing for the Kings as well.
No starters.
No Westbrook probably works out better for them, though. That might actually be an advantage. So, no, I don't know. You know, it's weird because everybody's talking about the Jazz right now. Like they're the poster children for tanking. Come on. What are we doing? And
There's so many other egregious examples.
Well, tonight's just going to be I don't know what tonight's going to be.
Well, it's going to be the debut of Jaren Jackson Jr. at home.
And so you're probably going to see
It's gonna be awesome.
You're probably going to see. Are you ready for this? A 2-game win streak. No, didn't we decide it's 3, right?
It has to be 3.
Officially, it
to
needs to be
streak,
3.
Right?
All right, but could win 2 in a row. After that win over Miami the other night, which they got criticized.
What would that do to the national narrative?
They got criticized for sitting Larry Markkinen and Jaren Jackson Jr. in the fourth quarter of a game that they won. And then they go, yeah, I mean, it worked out for him that time. The guy said it didn't work out. It backfired on him. That's what he said. Yeah, and in that moment, it backfired on him. I mean, you just said the weirdest way that a bunch of young guys on a Jazz roster went to Miami, a team who has got a better record than they do, and just beat them. So I don't know what they want. So either way, it's fine. I got some college football stuff to bring up here, JJ. By the way, that's a 6 p.m. pregame right here on the KSL Sports Zone.
We'll get more into the tanking thing. We're not done with that.
Yeah, lots of talking in the 5 o'clock
that
hour.
later.
Yeah, we'll hit a lot of Jazz a little bit later. But there you go. I did want to mention that Team Italy did fall 5-2 to Team Sweden in men's hockey. Spoiler alert.
How many NHL players on Italy's roster?
Italy has 0 NHL guys on an active NHL roster.
Wow. How many NHL players on Sweden's roster?
There are 0 amateurs. There are 0 non-NHL players on Sweden's roster. 0.
They're a juggernaut.
It is a roster made up entirely of NHL players. That's the same thing for Team USA, same thing for Team Canada. I mean, the Mammoth captain, Clayton Keller.
Czechia is loaded with NHL
Yes.
players. Finland.
Basically all these. And so Italy was
Slovakia.
in, and they're actually, somebody even said, they go, okay, look, Italy is a second-tier tournament in Europe team, and here they are playing in this tournament. It's going to be a very different speed for them. They faced the most shots in the history of an Olympic hockey tournament at 62 shots from Sweden. And it was 3-2 with like 3 minutes left. So that's about as good an effort you could put in.
Yeah, a prospect for the Ducks played his tail off.
Oh, stop it with that dad joke stuff. He looked right at our producer. He worked his tail off. Womp womp. Got it.
DuckTales.
Worked his pants off like Donald. No pants.
I'm not a JJ hater. I'm not, but
Before we get to North Dakota State, can we address how did Donald Duck get away with going pantsless for so many years?
Should have blurted out. Traumatized childhood.
We were victimized.
Subjected
to
think about it.
Duck nudity.
Yeah. Think about
for decades.
Think about Uncle Scrooge. He went full on top hat, big jacket, all this stuff, and even like the nice shoes. And
How
then
can you be distinguished with the top hat and a monocle and not be wearing pants?
No pants. Inappropriate. All right.
What a weirdo.
It's a children's show. The best blanket ever is also the best Valentine's gift ever. And head over to MickeyCouture.com on their website. You can get 50% off using the promo code Zone50. Or how about showing up and right there in the store? They've got stores all across the Wasatch Front. You can take advantage right there. Zone50, you're going to get tons of money off right there. The best blanket ever, best Valentine's gift ever. All right, North Dakota State looking for an immediate passage into the college football playoff FBS division. If you're unfamiliar with the Bison and what they do, shame on you, because if you thought JMU was a pretty good add to the FBS level, maybe, JJ, am I saying it? This isn't nuts to say that North Dakota State University is the most dominant team in the history of the FCS.
In the modern era, yes. No question.
They've won 11 of the last 14 national championships. They are the poster child for – Carson Wentz was a –
he was. Carson Wentz,
NDSU
Trey
guy.
Lance.
Yeah. Now, there's lots of guys who come out of there because it's a winning program. So they want to move to the Mountain West. They're going to have to pay the conference $12 million. They're going to have to pay the NCAA $5 million because, the paperwork.
Yeah, 10 national championships in FCS, all won since 2011.
Yeah. So
most all time.
Like I said, like the NCAA has to get a little piece of the action, so they're going to charge them $5 million.
Jeez.
I would assume for just like the notary fees and stuff like that for the signing. $5 million. So $17 million they're going to have to put up, which they are like, we have it. We're ready right now. Okay? And they want to be at the FCS or at the FBS level. They'll be in the Mountain West, which JJ, you and I both agreed, this would make North Dakota State immediately the best program in the Mountain West. Am I saying that? Is that being mean to the current teams that are that are going to be in the Mountain West this next season?
Well, let me list off the teams. You tell me who is going to be better than North Dakota State next year. Air Force.
No.
Hawaii.
Maybe. They had a decent year.
Wow, okay.
But a maybe. I'll throw a maybe in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nevada.
The Wolfpack?
The Wolfpack.
No.
New Mexico.
Ooh.
Coach X got it going. Much better, much improved. Bronco Mendenhall got him going in the right direction.
I'd say that would be a team that would be better than
That's
North
a contender.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Crazy to say New Mexico's a contender in anything,
All
but
right.
they would be. Northern Illinois.
No.
Okay. San Jose State.
No.
UNLV.
Probably not. Dan Mullen, I think, is faking it down there.
Probably put him in that category,
Maybe
though, with New Mexico.
One. Yeah.
How about your favorite school, UTEP?
I mean, they will lose by 3 touchdowns next year, at least. I'm setting the
North
line.
North Dakota State is much better than UTEP right now.
Right now.
Okay.
And some of these other teams, right now, yes.
The next and last school on the list in the Mountain West that North Dakota State must face, and we don't even know if they're going to play them in year one, is Wyoming.
Okay.
They should play them because there's only 9 teams in the conference.
Yeah, I think they're better than Wyoming, too. Okay? So we just named off 3 teams that could maybe contend with them? Or that
only 2 that could actually, that we would say, okay, that's an interesting game. That's North Dakota State wouldn't beat them handily. You said
this before the show. You were like, I think North Dakota State actually would have been a really good fit in the Pac-12.
Absolutely.
That would be interesting. But again, you have other teams that are looking for this too. Apparently Montana's been looking into it. Sacramento State is a team that's ready to – they just keep trying to put up money to do this thing.
They want it in the Pac-12.
All right, Doubles Luge needs to settle down, right?
You're easily distracted.
This is a family program.
You should not be watching. That's for the late night Olympics.
Double Luge, settle down. Come on. Plus those outfits.
What's worse, Double Luge or Donald Duck without his pants?
You don't need that shot when they're coming straight at
What's
you.
more inappropriate, Double
that.
Luge or Donald Duck pantsless?
Double Luge by far. You know why? My favorite is when somebody goes, you know what you'd be good at? And then they're all, I want you to meet Mike. He's going to be your partner in the next couple of years. All right, just sit on his lap here. See how this looks. Anyway, I am easily distracted. And you know what I would love? I would love to see North Dakota State in the Pac-12. But I think this is great that they're going to go to the Mountain West. This actually made the Mountain West better. A conference
no question.
A conference we wondered was going to be going to get any good positive pub over the next
How much better
while.
does it make it? In my opinion, I think North Dakota State wins that league in 2026. And depending on how they do in their non-conference, they'll be a factor in a group of 5 selection for the college football playoff.
I bet the next couple of years they'll be contenders. They'll be in the discussion.
How insane would that be?
They'll hit the top 25 at one point because they'll be, 9-1 in the 2027 year, and it'll be and they'll be there. So it's crazy.
To make the move from FCS to FBS, to go from the FCS playoffs to potentially the college football playoff in less than 5 years would be a remarkable jump. But I think that they're built for it. I think they could pull it off. I think they could be one of the best group of 5 programs in the country.
Right.
JMU is made a similar jump. And I think that North Dakota State is better positioned than JMU was.
They are. Napolis, are you laughing at Double Luge? Is that what you're watching? Yeah. See? We're all kids here, man. Like, why are they making these guys do this? The guy on the bottom is like,
why is this an Olympic event? This doesn't happen in real life.
No, you did this with your brother on a hill,
Did
sledding.
You?
Oh yeah,
laying on top of each other on a toboggan.
It was never on top of each other.
That?
It was back to back. It was like you had your legs, and he was sitting on the space in front of you because this is not something that should happen in the real world. All right. By the way, some of these translate into like real life skills. Biathlon, ski around, shoot a guy. Double luge has no meaning in the real world unless you're trying to escape some Bond villain on a mountain, I guess. Hop on. But it would be...
That'd be Bond and a Bond girl.
Lady. Yes. Come on. All right.
Even that is far-fetched.
I'm glad we had this discussion.
Why are we doing this in the Olympics?
Jump on this luge. Get on the sled. That was my Connery. Get on the sled.
Suck it, Trebek.
We've got to get down this mountain. Get on. All right. We'll come back. We've got more around the corner. We have a Would You Rather that you don't want to miss. I think there's some sound associated with it, too. It's a unique one. All right. So we'll jump in next with a Would You Rather. Stay right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Everybody, real life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
Join us tomorrow. We're going to be at the Mountain America Expo Center there in Sandy. 3 to 6. It is that time of the year. The RV show going off at the Mountain America Expo Center there in Sandy. Your chance to shop, compare, and buy the RV of your dreams. And we'll be there. And you can come enjoy the time with us. There you go. I want to apologize, everybody, for the Seattle Seahawks post-parade celebration. It's not for the kids, man. What did Lloyd say? It made the Raiders look tame. I wouldn't go that far, but it was one way to have a party.
Nobody got killed, so it wasn't Raider
That's
level.
true. Nobody got killed. How dare you? Also, no Super Bowl trophy trophy went down to the bottom of the ocean. That's good. That was a Gronk situation, right? It didn't fall in the water, right? It got close.
Tom Brady was the quarterback, so he completed every one of those passes.
Yeah. But Gronk dented the trophy, didn't he?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I think it's actually cooler to have the dented trophy because somebody was like, well, we got to get a new one. I was like, no, you keep that one. Your oaf of a tight end put a big dent in it. Come on. It's awesome. Okay. This Would You Rather, also going to apologize for it in advance. So this one always comes up during any time there is not just the Winter Olympics, but any skiing, anything. Somebody always makes this surface onto X or Instagram, whatever social media platform that they can put it on, because it's absolute gold. Ironically, because the person in the video did not win gold. And in fact, the question for today is, JJ, would you rather be Lindsey Vonn and have your Olympics end the way that it did, being airlifted off the mountain? By the way, 2 airlifts in a weekend. That's going to cost you. Is it like the search and rescue teams here in Utah? They're like, you got to pay for that.
I hope she's got good insurance.
Yeah, that helicopter ride out of network. Oof.
Yeah.
You know? So would you rather be that injury to Lindsey Vonn or this now infamous injury on the hill during the World Championships of 2007?
Now it's the Frenchman, Yannick Bertrand. Through the S turn. Yannick Bertrand. Oh, the gate to the groin for Yannick Bertrand, and you could hear it. And if you're a man, you could feel it. Wow, watch this again. Oh, the Frenchman. Oh, monsieur. Wow, the boys took a beating on that one.
Oh, monsieur.
Oh, monsieur. So,
I'd rather
Lindsey
be
Vonn or Yannick Bertrand?
I'd rather be Lindsey Vonn,
Of course.
who competed with so much courage,
But that
so much bravery.
You don't think Yannick
like the ultimate
Bertrand?
competitor?
Come on. That took some courage.
Put it all out there, risked everything, knew the risks, knew what she was doing, and it went badly for her, but she has that pride that she can walk away with. I don't think Mr. Bertrand walked away with any pride. I don't think he walked away with any glory. He just walked away in pain.
Might not have walked away.
We don't know what happened to him. Is he still with us?
They had to put on one of those double luges.
Is he on life support still after 19 years?
I bet Yannick Bertrand is like, I had a really good skiing career. This is what I'm remembered for.
I want to watch the documentary of Yannick Bertrand. Oh, monsieur.
Yeah, I'm going to see if he's still with us. Yeah, he's still with us. He, by the way, he got to compete in the 2006 Winter Olympics. That was, of course, the year before the World Championships. Not shockingly enough, there are links on his Wikipedia page that are basically only dedicated to this moment in his career. So, best he ever did was he placed 24th in the downhill and the Super G events in the 2006 Olympics in Vancouver. No, not Vancouver. It was the one in 2006.
Oh, man. What was that? Where was 2006? Lillehammer?
No, Lillehammer was 98.
I'll look it up. How can I not remember that?
I know. I'm kind of mad about it now.
Was it in Italy,
was
too?
The one right after us.
Yeah.
It was 02. What did it do? Switzerland? I don't know. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have
Torino. That was in Italy.
Tour in Italy. There you go.
Yes.
How far is Turin from Milan in Cortina? It's going to be right there.
It's got to be close.
Does Sam Farnsworth have to take nine buses to get there?
Well, it's not close. It's a 5-hour and 53-minute drive.
Yeah.
It is 536 kilometers. Do your conversion math. I have no idea what that is.
Like 290
But
miles.
they are actually, Turin is in western Italy.
Okay.
You know, people that are smart at those things know that.
Hey.
Know that. It's not far from Monaco. It's by the border of France.
There you go. This geography lesson brought to you by Jeremiah Jensen.
There you go. Cortina is almost in Austria.
Oh,
so you see the difference there.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. And when we do, going to talk with Mitch Harper, BYU fresh off of a much needed win over Baylor. But I think people walked away from that game, and they had some suspicions about that one too. BYU, again, giving up 90-plus points, having a massive night from the Big Three, and still having a little bit of a struggle with Baylor on the road in the Big 12. So we'll chat with Mitch Harper, see where BYU basketball stands right now. Stay here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.